The days of marvels has passed them by, where once lived a planet filled to the brim with legendary superheroes who could swing from building to building, fly with the power of fire, or even fight for your country in the form of a star-spangled banner. His name is Steve Rogers. He's old now, but you know what he stands for. One of Earth's mightiest heroes, but that's in the past. Thanks to whatever happened on Hero Day, the age of heroes is over. The superhero community simply doesn't exist anymore. Welcome to the world of tomorrow, where corrupt governments control free speech, civilians have no rights in the places they live. Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna present a new vision of Marvel's future. A future where the heroes of old must fight for a glimpse of the past. This is Avengers Twilight. In the future, the world is still haunted by Hero Day, a battle with artificial intelligence Ultron that resulted in the deaths of many heroes. As a result of that fateful day, the original Avengers have been replaced by new heroes working in concert with the totalitarian government. Among this new breed of hero is James Stark, son of the original Iron Man and the Wasp. James' mentor, Kyle Jarvis, is secretly the Red Skull in disguise, working in concert with Ultron's captive consciousness to covertly seize control of the world. If you haven't seen my last videos in this timeline, I'll put them on screen now. These stories are some of the best Marvel have been putting together in years, in my opinion that is. Captain America is back, and though he's definitely not better than ever, he's all that's left to stop the supervillains controlling the world. In his safe house, he can't sleep, reminiscing over old times once again. All he can think about is his old friend Tony, whose floating head has been locked up in a prison for supervillains, and he won't stand for it. He goes to the communications room and discovers that someone has been sending a distress signal. A very old one at that. He thanks Tyler and begins to set off on his one-man suicide mission to the Raft, a high-tech supervillain prison. But Tyler, his communication expert, says he shouldn't go alone. But he has no choice. Luke Cage can't move anymore, and all the rest of his people aren't ready for this type of mission. It's in the middle of a river. There's no escape plan. Only succeed or die. He understands, but he's gonna need a guy who can override all of the security. And Tyler's that guy. Meanwhile, at the Raft, James Stark, Iron Man's evil son, is gloating to his father about how he finally did it. He made an armor, not as a drone, but for himself. He thinks himself even better than Tony. Even smarter, he says. He says he's actually going to save the world, and keep it safe, unlike Tony. Over the choppy seas, on the way to the Raft, Cap and Tyler are flying the original Avengers Quinjet, as the government confiscated everything from the Avengers mansion on H-Day, the day the superhero community fell. Tony has a few locked away for safekeeping. The technology is amazing for modern day standards. He was always ahead of his time. "Let's go save an Avenger," Cap says. They slow up close to the entrance. The rain will help with the stealth. He sets off, spotting a guard and dispatching him easily. Tyler hacks his way in, and Cap tells him to wait in the jet, and if he's not back in 20, leave. The defenders need him alive. He's not a soldier, and the Raft is no place for civilians. It used to be a high security prison for the ones who let power corrupt them, for villains who we'd put away time and time again. But now in a world without heroes, where the government execute villains, it's a monstrous research facility. Every part of him wants to burst in and shut down everything. But war brings tough decisions, and freeing Tony is top of that list. He grabs a professor nearby and takes his keycard. Some cameras will have picked him up by now, so he has to be quick. He sees his friend for the first time in ages. "It's Steve," he says. He's gonna get him out of there. But he doesn't know how. "It's a little too complicated," a voice says from behind. It's the sniper, Bullseye, who spared his life at the Times Square speech last issue. He's been told to kill Captain America and that he is a terrorist. But James walks in and interrupts the party. He came for his old man. Found a different one waiting. Cap says he's taken Tony. But James is furious. He begins to threaten to call the new Avengers, but is suddenly hit with an arrow from above, screaming for help. Bullseye drops down and Steve informs them that you just hit the richest man in the world with an arrow. They suggest that they gotta go, but Steve asks why first. Why help him? "Let's just go," they say. Steve retrieves Tony, puts him in a tube, and gets ready to leave to his aircraft without being, well, caught. James has put on the Iron Man mask, informing the guards of what's happening, until he receives another arrow to his shoulder. Bullseye knows the layout, but all they have is a bow. "You call yourself Bullseye? But I know a Hawkeye when I see one. If you're with me, one rule. No killing," Steve says. "Whatever, old man," they reply. The door opens and they're immediately fired upon, but Bullseye is ready for them. Before they leave, Steve starts to feel like he's missing something. He thought it was just his old age that made him feel incomplete. "With the serum I can lead armies. But with you, I can do anything." More shots rain down on them. His shield takes care of the stragglers. They make it outside. But someone is waiting for them. He blasts Cap, but with his shield in hand, he can deflect anything. Bullseye empties a clip into the Iron Man, but it does nothing. He prepares to annihilate him, but is blasted from behind. It's Tyler in the Quinjet, but he's not too happy about that. He blasts the ship, making it come crashing down. "Shoot the windshield," Cap screams. Bullseye hesitates. "Do it," he shouts. The ship is on a one-way collision course with the prison. But nobody's dying today, Cap says. Nobody. As he jumps and crashes his way through the jet's window, glass everywhere. Cap pulls Tyler from the wreckage, just before it explodes. "Not bad," James says as he jets off, and Bullseye thinks he's hightailing it, but he couldn't be more wrong. "Run!" Steve screams, but it's too late. James comes crashing down, destroying everything around him. Cap and Tyler try to recover before he realises where they are, but they're taking on water. The guards are drowning. Bullseye tries to rescue them while Steve is on his way for backup, but gets blasted from behind. "This is ridiculous," James says in anger. "You're the past, fighting the future." "No, I fight for the future." They begin to fight as James' fists collide with his shield. He's finally realising the power of the armour. Being Iron Man is... God, I feel high, he gloats. Cap begs James to save the drowning men, but he doesn't care. He has his dad back. Bullseye is failing. The men are drowning. Cap can't take any more hits. His body is not what it used to be. What gives you the right to make decisions? Your money? Your father's brilliant mind? Your lost son? Your... No! James tosses his dad's head into the water, saying he doesn't need him anymore. He doesn't need anyone. Cap continues to attack, but the ground below them starts to shake. What is that? The men are rising from the water. It's Miss Marvel! She came! She goes to put the guards on the boat, but James points his blaster directly at them. But Cap hits him last minute, knocking his aim off, and then smashing his face in with his shield, saying no one dies today. But James is too strong and retaliates with a flurry of blows. "I'm not your child. I'm James Stark, and I run the world. I've met men like you, Cap says. You won't run it for long. The power resides in the people. Goodbye, Uncle Steve. Your dreams are a little too dangerous. What did you do? James screams in a ball of fire on the ground. What I always do in hard times. I prayed. The mighty god of thunder stands over the fallen man made of iron, triumphant, asking, "It's been a wolf's age, Captain. Shall we assemble?" Well, that's it for the third issue in this series. I really enjoyed it. This is one of Marvel's best ongoing series right now. If you haven't seen the last two, I really recommend it. They're really good. Not that's not me gloating on how good my videos are. The series itself is really good. And if you've seen the last two, let me know what you think. Know what I mean? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know any of your thoughts. You have any recommendations for new upcoming videos? Let me know. Peace.